Surely they could not do it again. Welcome into Numbers Don't Lie, powered by Sofascore, Nico Cantor, JayDee Dyer. And you saw the question that is going to be riveting around the world right now. Why, Los Blancos? Can they win the Champions League one more time? Can they do the impossible? Nico Cantor, what's your initial thoughts when you see this?
We always ask ourselves this question, even if they're playing well, even if they're playing bad, even if they're playing somewhere in between. You cannot write off Real Madrid, no matter how bad they are. And actually, I think they're worse off than they were last year. Perhaps Arbeloa has found his way around. There's a good feeling with this team. We'll talk about whether they can beat City in the second leg and whether they can beat Bayern potentially in the next leg. So after the first City game, their percentage to win the Champions League doubled basically at 11.2% to win the entire thing. Mind you, this is not even in the top 3. This is top 5 at the moment of teams' likelihood to win the Champions League. So at least it got a little bit better, JD.
I personally, I can recognize this, I can respect this, I understand the nostalgia behind Real Madrid, but we need to give a spotlight to one individual because I tell you what's so special about Real Madrid every single time, the individuals do know how to step up in those big pressure moments, and nobody stepped up bigger than Federico Valverde, because this young man is an incredible leader, complete footballer, the industry that he has, the tactical awareness that he has, the ability to impact a game in so many different ways, and it was on full display against Man City. What you need to understand is this is standard. I know for world football, we don't recognize this all the time, but this is standard. 11.5 kilometers clocked, defensive contributions, the duels. But this is where he goes to a completely another level. Did I have Federico Valverde as on my bingo list for a hat-trick? No, I did not. But I did have him impacting the game in a number of ways. Now, when you think about some of the players that have done this, especially in the knockout stages, you have Suzy, you have Gerrard, and of course, now you have Valverde. Think about the gaps in between those years. Look at the difference in terms of when they've done it and how much of a gap there's been. There's been 26 years we've been waiting for another player from a midfield to turn around and take a tie in the first leg by the string of his neck and turn around and say, this is my moment, this is my thing. And I thought that last goal, that little chip over the Man City oncoming defender and then the volley, really just epitomized everything that Real Madrid were about this year. Never write off Los Blancos. That's all I would say. It's just impossible to turn around and recognize the excellence that you have in these competitions and especially managing these competitions most of all. But look at their last 8 games, especially Valverde's last 8 games. We've been asking where this performance has been. The 10 has been one thing, but it's been building. The couple of assists that he had against Benfica was one thing. The showcase that he had in terms of the back and forth there, especially in La Liga, you can see that the form guide is really indicating that not only Real Madrid, but Fede as well, is rounding off at the right time. So when you start thinking about all of the other things that he's done, the ball recoveries, the carrying distance, the final third entries, and most importantly, the distance that he covers, I will say it and I will say it over and over again. This is the most complete footballer in world football. He can do anything in any space. But Nico, I know you got another Galactico that we need to give acknowledgement to.
Yeah, but first, before we move on, who would have thought that playing Federico Valverde not at right back was a good idea, huh? Like showing his best qualities not at right back. Listen, there's somebody that I think has been even more consistent than Federico Valverde over these last couple of years, and that was Thibaut Courtois. He has been unreal for Real Madrid. Diamond hands. 3.89 saves per game in the knockout stage of the Champions League. Since the 2003-2004 season, only Jan Oblak has had more. He probably sees a little bit more shots, but Courtois has been absolutely incredible. Game-defining saves. It's a goalkeeper that wins you games. These are the top 5 rated goalkeepers since the 2003-2004 season, and this is well before Sofascore was even a thing, but we ran the numbers back with all the stats, and look at these big game goalkeepers. Dida, Petr Cech, Edwin van der Sar, and Thibaut Courtois is right in there. Imagine how he has arrived from Chelsea into Real Madrid and won these Champions League and put up these huge amount of saves. And the thing is that it's not like in the Iker Casillas days of Real Madrid where Iker is seeing 1, maybe 2 shots where he has 1 big save in the game. This Real Madrid team sees a lot of shots. They concede a lot of those shots to the rivals. So if we bring out the scatter pot to just show you how crazy it is that he is coming up clutch in these moments. X-axis, saves per game. Y-axis, goal prevented. So good teams, you see Neuer, Raya, and Sommer closer to the left-hand side of your screen, because these are teams that have good defenses that don't really concede that many shots. And the higher up, clearly you are on y-axis, is how good that goalkeeper is. So Sommer, to me, tells me he's a goalkeeper that doesn't produce that many saves a game, but when he does, he prevents them. That is efficiency. But you look towards the right-hand side of these graphics, as you're coming closer to 6 saves per game, you're seeing goalkeepers that aren't on strong teams. But Courtois in Real Madrid, he's here, saves per game, but he's also very high. Look at Courtois, almost higher even than Neuer. Only a goalkeeper from elite teams, Sommer is higher than him. So it comes to show you that not only is Courtois coming up clutch, but he's coming up clutch a lot of the time. JD, take it away. What else do you got for us?
I've got about the mystique, and sometimes in sports there's some things that are bigger than just who they are and the numbers that go around it. Yeah, we can look at the Real Madrid 15 Champions Leagues, and rightfully so, because incredible history that they've cultivated across the whole of football. But you know what they remind me of? They remind me of the Yankees in terms of every time you go to Yankee Stadium. They remind me of Mike Tyson when he became the youngest undisputed champion. They remind me of the Chicago Bulls in the mid-90s. You were beaten before you even decided to go against them, because the difference is they recognize this pressure, they understand this pressure, and they thrive in chaos. There is a reason why in the Champions League knockout stages, look at their record over the last 30 years. Excuse me, 71 ties, 51 wins. Yeah, nostalgia is one thing, recognition is another, but understanding that there is a genuine mystique around this team needs to be given its respect. Someone who understands what it's like to play in the Bernabeu in a knockout game is none other than our colleague Thierry Henry, and he will explain to you as to why Real Madrid are so special.
I don't know what they put in that shirt. I don't know what they put in that jersey. I really don't. It's obviously a joke what I'm going to say, because I don't want to wear that jersey. But maybe if I put it on, it might help me to get my hair back. They put something in it. When they play in the Champions League, I don't know what it is. When they put that shirt, I said at the beginning of the game that it's an heavy shirt, and then you have to battle against team that won in that competition. It's not easy. It's heavy. But in the Champions League, yes, it is heavy. I know it's an heavy shirt, but I don't know why when they put it on, it looks like players are different. It is different. And so you have to give them that credit, because that's the team right now in the first leg where I didn't expect that from Real Madrid. So as much as it pains me to say, well done.
So if TT will break down to you in terms of what the nostalgia is, it's time we start looking into potentially the future. Now, I'm not looking past this, because I've said on record, Man City are still firmly in this tie, whether we wanted to believe it or not. But Nico, if we do look ahead and we start looking at potentially that matchup against Bayern Munich, the history does favor Real Madrid.
I think today Bayern Munich are an excellent football team. They're better than Real Madrid, pure footballing-wise. But Real Madrid has kind of been Bayern's bogey team over the last 10 or so years in the Champions League, defeating them in critical circumstances. We have to go all the way back to the 2012 season. Remember when Chelsea wins the Champions League? Well, they got to the final with Bayern. Bayern beat Real Madrid on their way to the Champions League final. It's been a long time coming, especially in this season where Alphonso Davies had scored at the Bernabeu, but out of nowhere, Real Madrid brings this aura to the table. El aura del Bernabeu, the aura of the Bernabeu, that there's nothing numbers can compute to tell you how much that is. It's an intangible. This is our Z-score, right? Our averages. We grab a bunch of different categories and we analyze where they are in comparison to the other teams in the top 5 European leagues. And both of these teams are very close in many metrics. I'm actually impressed that Real Madrid is this high considering the season that they're having in all competitions. Attacking-wise, I think when you have a guy like Kylian Mbappe, that helps boost it. But Bayern is just with Luis Diaz, Michael Olise, and Harry Kane, they're very high on that list. Defending, both teams have dropped off, but still, Bayern getting the number on Real Madrid in possession. Bayern are their standard. In intensity, Real Madrid will give you that. And perhaps that plays along to the aura aspect, right, of Real Madrid in these situations where perhaps they're not the better team as of the last 2 years, but they'll fight. This season, we were missing it. In the first leg against Manchester City, they gave you that something different. that just showed that they were ready for the battle much more than Manchester City. But Bayern, in total, just edges out Real Madrid on the Z-score.
I love the fact that Bayern are a complete 100. That tells me in terms of where they are in world football. And unfortunately, no matter what I just told you about the nostalgia and the aura and the history of Real Madrid, I still got to give the nod to what my eyes are telling me every week when I see this Bayern team. We even saw the demolition of Atalanta on an away game. The resting of Harry Kane in terms of what they're doing. Vincent Kompany, I'm clocking you tactically, and I'm realizing and recognizing that you're trying to incorporate as much of this squad in as possible so confidence is at an all-time peak, because he'll know, and we know, that if they do meet up in the next stage, he's going to need everything. He's going to need every bit of the footballing gods. He's going to need all the history. He's going to need the tactical awareness to approach and understand an away day in Real Madrid is like nothing you will ever experience in your life. And if you want to achieve the ultimate goal, you're going to need to go through the best.
Good news for Bayern, though, is that if they make the next round, of course, which we imagine that they will, they'll close out at home. Right? You don't have to go to the Bernabeu to
always
get a
want the second leg on your own pitch. Always want the second leg on. But I will say something. I still don't think this is done. I'm telling you, there is something in there. As much as we have the gods, the footballing gods are there, Man City are not out of this tie as of yet. But you let us know, do you think that Real Madrid will win the Champions League this year? Is the aura and mystique something that we're making up, or is it real? You let us know in the comments. Nico Cantor, JayDee Dyer, numbers don't lie. You know what time it is.
Hey, thanks for watching this video from Numbers Don't Lie. Be sure to catch our show every Monday at 5 p.m. on YouTube. And for news and insights from leagues all around the world, including Serie A, EFL, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.